I'd love to invite the children up to the front for an awesome, awesome story. So please come up to the front, and if you sit on the front row of the chairs and look towards the stage, we might see something pretty awesome. I've got a question for you before we begin. Do you know what an allegory is? Allegory.
Does that live in water?
You might do. You might be thinking of an alligator. Pretty close, though. An allegory is a story with a hidden meaning. It's also kind of like a parable, a story with a hidden meaning. Like the tortoise and the hare. Have you heard that story before? There's a hidden meaning in that story. I'm going to tell you today a story that's an allegory. And it begins with 4 children who one day discover a secret world hidden in their house. The youngest sister one day opens up a wardrobe in her house and she finds a magical land, a beautiful world, a Christmas wonderland filled with soft white snow. She meets a friend and she has tea in his house. It's pretty nice, isn't it? The nice snow. Oh, and there's some tea here as well. Oh, very nice. And they talk and have tea together. After a little while, the younger sister heads back home to talk to her family and tell them about what the magic she's seen. Can you see them down the side there? She comes. One day, all 4 of them decide to head into this land and see if they can explore and find out what's happening. They find themselves exploring this beautiful landscape, and 3 of them decide to go have tea with Lucy's friend. One of them, the younger brother, is tempted by an enemy. Look over there, you can see the enemy over there? If he helps to banish his brother and sisters from the land, he might one day become king. The enemy appeared as a beautiful creature, so the child thought they must be telling the truth. After all, why would anyone so nice and promising such great gifts tell lies? That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Tell on your brothers and you become king? Could you tell on your brothers or sisters? The other 3 children say goodbye to Lucy's friend, and they begin exploring the land and eventually meet a kind and strong lion. A talking lion. What a strange thing, don't you think? A lion that can talk? Remember what type of story I said this is? It's an allegory. So anything is possible. The lion represents a strong leader. He is gentle and he's good. In the meantime, Lucy's friend is taken by the enemy and turned into a statue. Uh-oh. That's not good. The children are told about their brother's temptation, and there are consequences for his actions. The enemy comes to meet the good lion, and they discuss what they're going to do with the tempted brother. Eventually, they reach an agreement, and the brother is set free, his sin forgiven. How amazing is that his sin was forgiven? I think that's pretty cool. The only trouble is the brave lion has taken the punishment from the tempted brother onto himself. He is to be banished from the land. Is that fair? Does the brother deserve this forgiveness? Does the good lion deserve to be banished? In the middle of the night, the lion silently leaves the camp to meet with the enemy. The 2 sisters follow to watch what happens. A large crowd of the enemy's followers are standing around a large table. The lion is pushed onto the table, and the enemy kills him. Remember, anything is possible in an allegory. The enemy was lying. He wasn't to be banished. It was actually a far worse punishment than we thought. Fortunately, though, the lion was wise and he knew the evil strategies of the enemy. After the crowd had left, the 2 sisters rushed over to the lion and they were sad. As dawn broke, they began to walk back to the camp to let the others know what had happened. And as they turned, they heard a mighty crack. And they turned to see the lion had broken the table and was standing before them unharmed. All three rushed back to the camp to find the enemy stirring up trouble. Before them stood a large group of statues. Oh no, look at them all, three of them there. That's not good. The good lion stepped forward and placed his hand on a statue's shoulder. Immediately, the statue broke and the person trapped inside was freed. The lion went along and saved all the statues the enemy had made. The enemy was shocked and confused, getting angry at the good lion. Suddenly, the lion stepped forward again and banished the enemy from the land forever. This time, the enemy was thrown out of the land and was never able to return. The power of the lion was far better than the power of the enemy. This story is a very good allegory of Jesus. The good lion represents Jesus, who gave his life for our sins, even though he didn't commit any sin at all. How good is it that Jesus died for us that we may be saved? You can read more about the good lion in the Chronicles of Narnia, and I definitely encourage you to do so. Listen to Pastor Neil's sermon today as he talks about the stories in the Bible, and you just might hear an allegory or two. Thanks for listening. Thank you to our wonderful actors, and you may go back to your seats.